Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals. I'm here with some exclusive content from the ESET UK Masters, and well, as some of you who follow my channel will know, I am looking at all of the finalists for the ESET UK Masters who will be taking part in the Grand Finals on the 22nd to 25th of March 2013 at Insomnia 48. I'll be casting it along with a couple of others, and yeah, I'm just going to be taking a look at everyone who's in the finals to give all you viewers the chance to work out, hang on, who do we like, who are we rooting for, and who are we going to predict could get some good results. So let us know in the comment sections, in the TL thread, on the different social medias and everything like that. But first, let me introduce these two. And I'm going to start with the blue Zerg player in the lower left position. He is the Ukrainian Zerg. He plays for FX Open, and it is, of course, Minato. His opponent up in the top right is a teammate of his, for Team FXO as well, the red Terran. It is Strelok. So it's going to be a ZvT coming in here. And now let's talk a little bit about Minato, because that's who we're all interested in being the finalist for the ESET UK Masters. Let me just tell you and explain how he managed to get there. So Minato was invited to the first invitational online qualifier, where it's got to be said, he came out of pretty much nowhere. None of us casters were really saying, oh, we've got to watch out for him, he's going to do really well. There was some big names in that event, but Minato crushed a lot of them. He went 2-1 against Damaga in the first round. He then got placed up against Nama, another tough opponent where he went 2-1 again. And then in the semi-finals where he could secure his seed, he got placed up against Hasuobs, where he went 3-0 in a best of 5. So he took out some big name people and was actually our first qualifier, apart from obviously Kras and Bling, who got through previously from getting to the finals of I-47 ESET UK Masters. So these two definitely going to be playing a tough game out. Minato, though, I'm interested to see what he's going to do, because for a lot of people he's not a big name, not someone that I've really seen out much, and he didn't even have, at the time of recording this, a Wikipedia page. So that says a little bit about how he's coming out of the dark. It was one of the dark horses of the tournament, which of course a lot of people will get behind and root for. So let us know in the comments and TL thread, etc., how well you think Minato's going to do, who may slip him up, and just give us your thoughts. In terms of this matchup, it is a ZvT. So from the Terran, it should be, now we've seen the gas down, that factory, some Hellions coming out very early on, Hellbats, exceptionally strong the Overlord, trying to get a little bit of vision. Meanwhile for Minato, he went hatch into a pool, very normal opening, just what you do against essentially every Terran player you encounter on the ladder. So nothing to worry about here. Meanwhile for Strelok, he's just getting out that reactor as expected, so will 99% of the time get Hellions out, may get 2 Widow Mines just for defense from a lot of Lings or anything like that, but generally speaking, things looking fairly standard. We've got enough minerals as well to start the command center, so that should be getting chucked down. There we go. So everything piecing together just as we would hope. Going into the mid game though, let's talk a little about Minato's options. Most likely, it's going to be Roach Hydra. The reason that's so strong is because you then get some Vipers out of Hive Tech very early on, and you're able to blind and cloud on siege tanks and infantry and really punch through and deal a lot of damage very quickly. Other things he could be going for is he could go for some Muta Harassment. It's a possibility. He's also got the option potentially of using some Swarm Hosts, although many Zerg players feel that Swarm Hosts better off in the ZvP matchup, just due to tank fire being so effective against them, and you have to get some great positioning or some blinding clouds from the Vipers. But again, all different things Minato could be throwing out. He may go for double upgrades, he may take a quick third, he may go for some 2 base pressure. We will wait to see, but for the moment Strelok, he's got those 2 Hellions out, 2 more on the way. The Tech Lab coming down on the barracks, no second gas yet, and not even mining from that first one at the moment. He just got out enough to get those add-ons. So all in all, Strelok, he's teching now a bit more thoroughly. He's got his natural base pretty much up and running. He'll be up any second. The 4 Hellions can come and do some harassment, and for the moment Minato hasn't taken any gas. I lie terribly. He has taken 2 gas. I was just looking at the wrong base and started speaking before I checked everywhere. So Minato will be able to start getting down speed, double upgrades, etc. Goes for the double evolution chamber wall off. With the queens there, that means the Hellions are rejected. They are not going to be coming any closer, any further into the base. This is a good defense. A lot of Zerg players doing this to avoid this early in Hellion style. Also getting out the Roach Warren just in preparation for the potential of there being some Hellbats later on. But Strelok not doing that. He is just getting out 1 tank, or his first tank at least, getting out the command center, floating this barracks down. So that barracks is in order to gain vision to try and take out the Overlord with the Marines. And other than that, no real sign other than it's probably going to be a mech style play. It's very strong at the moment. The Marines coming around trying to get into a nice little position where they can start taking this off the Overlord. Getting pulled very quickly though, but the two Marines should be able to deal with that fairly easily, especially if one goes each side, so there's just no escaping from their Gauss rifles. But as we can see, a Spine Caller now coming down here as well. That unbuildable play, desperately trying to get taken down. The 1-1 missile attack and armor upgrades for Minato. He's also getting up his third and fourth gas. So this is now coming together very nicely. Everything looking good, just as we would expect, just as we would hope, with the lair timing as well coming down quite early. It's certain that we could be seeing Hydras or something like that. Almost certain to be mech now out of Strelok because he's got the double armor, even though he hasn't committed to any more factories as of yet. Just getting out those tanks, getting out his fourth gas as well. So these two just going at it quite nicely. This third orbital command is now finished, completed. That's an additional mule, can float down to take the third base when he's prepared for it, but at the moment just a couple more factories, just some more tanks coming out. Generally fairly uneventful at the moment, but the Hellions are going to try and do a little bit of damage, won't be successful in doing so because of the roaches there, and that means they will be forced back at the moment. This was on the new patch, so that is the important thing. There is this transformation servos that is required to upgrade in order to morph in the Hellbats, so that is the important thing. But as you'll notice, you can make Hellbats, you just can't morph them from Hellions until you've got that upgrade. So that's a minor little thing that's worth pointing out. The Overseer coming through sees, okay, factories, factories, factories. We'll also see the third orbital command and go, well, quick third base, quick mech style play, double upgrades coming down. Minato gets the complete scout off. His own third is already coming down. Some roaches starting to push forward. As far as I'm aware, there isn't a Hydra Den or a Spire or even an infestation pit yet, so purely just roaches coming out of our blue Zerg player for the time being. The 1-1 upgrades about a quarter done at the moment for Strelok. For Minato, he's already starting on 2-2, so has taken an early upgrade advantage, and they should be able to keep that going with the 2-2 upgrades already started. So this is good to see. We've got the infestation pit and also the third base nearly now completed. That's great news for Minato. He might be going for Swarm Host, could just be going for a very, very early hive in order to get out some ultras. They're very good in this matchup at the moment. He's also just completed now road speed, so everything just piecing together. The jigsaw is all coming together. He started off with the corner pieces, as you always should when going about a jigsaw, and then it's just carrying on as normal. Both players being very passive for the time being, macroing up to the max. So let's talk a little bit about the worker counts. Surprisingly equal, and that's something the Minato won't want. He's only one worker ahead at the moment. He desperately needs to get some more stuff out, or some more drones out if he wants to keep this going. Getting the Hydra Den, getting the Hive, so we'll be going for that Roach Hydra, either Roach Hydra into Viper, or getting some Ultras out just to tank up the damage and really om-nom them their way through all of the infantry and various other things that get in their way, because Ultras, they just want the hugs, but they're deadly hugs. Deadly, deadly hugs. You'll die happy, though, getting hugged by an Ultralisk, because you know that at least one unit loves you. Swarm Hosts are going to be on the cards, Enduring Locust coming down, so Minato not afraid of going for some slightly more unusual strategies, and it's up now to Strelok to really try and counteract that. The tanks will help, but if those Swarm Hosts get in a good position, specifically if some are attacking from the left, some are attacking from the natural, then it could run into a bit of problems because the tanks won't be able to defend all of the locusts. You need the splash damage to clean them out quickly. So this is what we're really waiting to find out, waiting to see if the Terran player will be able to defend this. Minato, though, he's got 2-2 nearly complete. Enduring Locust is on its way down, still being incredibly passive, but look at this creep spread. 12 minutes, already halfway across the map, nearly covering the entire width of the map as well, which is exceptionally impressive on a map like Cloud Kingdom where it is so wide. But it just shows the Minato, he's got the basics down. His injects are also incredibly solid, like he's not banking up much much energy at all on these queens, so injecting away very comfortably, which is nice to see. He is above, he's not quite actually above that 70 worker mark yet. Strelok is, so that means Strelok's economy will be quite a bit better, but it doesn't really matter because Minato, while he's lagging behind at the moment, he's getting out Swarm Hosts, he's teching quite heavily. He can be very cost effective as long as these Swarm Hosts stay back and don't get in range of the tanks, but they're wandering forward, running straight into the tank line. Oh, now pulling back, realizing, oh, hang on, tanks are there, I don't want any of those shenanigans going on. And well, here's the Locust starting to spawn. The rally point set up towards the third base, and while the tanks will start chipping away, there's only one tank in range. The other tank's down the other side. So that means actually these Locusts are going to be able to do some nice damage and pick off nearly two supply depots. And that means that, of course, Strelok does have to start replacing them to keep them all up there. And wave upon wave of Locusts can keep spawning, and it costs Minato absolutely nothing. But this Hellbat tank push is on its way across the map now. The 4th base for Minato could potentially be in a lot of problems. And what is there to defend? The answer? Very little. Just some roaches, just some hydras. This attack angle for Minato will have to be perfect. He's trying to get the 3-3 upgrades out. So he does currently have the upgrade advantage of 2-2 against 1-1, but that will soon not be so great. And well, as we can see, this 4th base definitely dead. Minato doing the right thing, sacrificing it, waiting for more reinforcements rather than trying to rush. And ultimately, he's busy killing Strelok's 3rd, so he's going to stay a base up still. The roaches, the hydras now coming in, the tanks not siege at the moment, and that's going to allow these hydras and roaches to deal some nice damage. They're pushing forward, sniping off the tanks as quickly as possible. Here comes the siege up, a Minato already on top of Strelok. He's hugging up onto those tanks as best he can to reduce the damage they're able to do, and he's trying to take them out. All the Hellbats get taken down very quickly, and this was a great engagement, just flooding with units. Such a good decision, letting that 4th base die in order to clean up that push. Meanwhile, those Locusts pushing in to the 3rd base. A couple of tanks are now sieging up, so we'll be able to deal with them slightly quicker, but the Orbital Command taking quite a bit of damage, trying to push forward, trying to get those tanks as best they can. Meanwhile, the natural base is under threat. The rock's taken down, so no wall off, and the wall off at the natural is also down as well. That means that these tanks are suddenly trying to defend 2 places at once. Minato getting straight into the natural base, the Hydra streaming in, the Roach is streaming in, the Locust still pushing in at the 3rd base as well. This is just attacked from every angle. The main base even getting some Roaches coming up there, picking up the reinforcing tanks as quickly as possible, and as they go down, there'll be no way to deal with these units flooding across the map. The 4th base getting retaken as well by the Zerg player. The Locust still pushing up, keeping all these tanks pinned here. They cannot get back to defend, but the production facilities are next in line to die, and Strelok knows that, and GG's out of the game. So Minato, they're showing that he has got great decision making, great multi-prong harassment, and just good macro play. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel to get the latest hype videos and just other casts I do as well. Check out ESETUKMasters.com and all of the ESET UK Masters Twitters and Facebooks and all those things. And put in your diaries the 22nd to 25th of March for Insomnia 48, where the grand finals of the ESET UK Masters will be held. So check us out, watch on the stream, or attend in person if you can, and see the action unfold in front of you. Thanks for watching, like the video, subscribe, leave a cool comment, and I will see you tomorrow for more action. Bye for now.